Happy Sunday, FlossTube. It is Chrissy, finally a farm girl, and it is Sunday night at about 8:15, so this is really late for me to be recording. I usually record Sunday mornings. Today was one of those special days where I got to run up to Brick City Cross Stitch and do a Sunday stitch-in. So we will talk about that a little bit later. But let me go back and go ahead and welcome everybody to my FlossTube. Anybody that's new, thank you so much. I am always so thrilled to have new people say, I just found you, or I found you from so-and-so. And it's just nice to have new people join in and watch this, this stitching family grow. So if you are also just my friend that joins me every Sunday and picks up a cup of coffee or soda or tea and stitches while they listen to me. You know, I have gained so many friends over the past year or so doing FlossTube. It has just been a tremendous blessing to me, and I welcome you. So this is going to be a little bit different of an episode because, like I said, I did not want to record. The day was kind of, you know, was backwards for me. So we got in the car and rushed and got up to Brick City. So let me go ahead and kind of tell you what I did during the week. It was a little bit crazy. As many of you know, if you're on Instagram, you know that a very big release came out today. And that is the model stitch that I have been working on for Twin Peak Primitives. I have been working on that monogamously up until about a little bit before last week. I went and dropped it off. I had ordered the frame ahead of time. So I have shared these pictures on Instagram, and I also shared a picture of my framer. And so I guess I just want to run through my week with you with no particular order and share some of the fun things that have happened. So let me just backtrack to the beginning of the week. The very first thing I got was actually a call from my framer, Mike, who shared with me that he thought I should come down and look at this frame that I had selected for. The name of it for the Twin Peak Primitives is Founding of America. He was not 100% happy with how it came. I hope you're not having the same struggles I see with some of the lighting going on. It's just a little bit different at night. But anyways, so he said, you know, he thought I should come take a look. And in about 5 minutes, I called him back and I just said, you know, Mike, if you aren't happy and you know me, then I won't be happy. So he quickly was able to get an order back in, and it came in Friday. So when it came in Friday, I knew then that I could commit to the twins and say that I would have it back either late Friday night or first thing Saturday morning. And it ended up being Saturday morning. Randy and Philip and I ran down and picked it up. So I'll go through the rest of the story with that and the reveal in just a few minutes. Okay, so that was my Monday. Then on, let's see here, it was just kind of a really nice week where I could start stitching on the pieces I'd been missing. So when I finish what I did for the week, I will start going through my whips because yes, I have some whips that I worked on, and it was just so nice to be able to just grab whatever I wanted to grab. Okay, so I started picking up things I wanted to do, and then I had special plans with Lynn and actually her whole family. She was visiting, and she wanted to know if I could make the drive up to Brick City Cross Stitch because she had flown in from the East Coast. So I was able to hook up on Friday with Lynn and her family, and I will insert some pictures at the end. Just a super special family, and at least spend a little bit of time while she enjoyed Brick City cross stitch. And so Philip went, and I grabbed a couple of things that I needed, and Philip, it was just a really nice Friday there because it was not incredibly busy. And it's the first time Philip and I, well, he did, could just sit and have lunch in the shop, and that was really nice. And then I knew I was turning around and going back on Sunday, so it was kind of a Brick City weekend, to say the least. Let's see, and then literally Saturday turned into the pickup and the photography and the finishing, like instructions and any DMC changes were what needed to go to Nerdan of Twin Peak Primitives to just finish up my commitment to the piece. So that was kind of that. Now, if I move forward, I had received back from Stitching with Mel, Lore, Lore. She is on Instagram. She did a model stitch for me. She stitched Mrs. Claus Bakery, and that was a new release that I had this week. So I can go ahead and I can show you that now. Absolutely adorable. So this is Mrs. Claus Bakery, and Mel did a fantastic job stitching, but this is the top. So you've got Mrs. Claus here, a couple of candy canes, a mouse, like a shelf sitter, and the mixer, a little butter churn, and this is Oscar the cat, kind of making his first appearance. And then you have Mrs. Claus, and right here, she's got a cake with the gingerbread man coming out. You've got some chocolate chip cookie mix going on in the bowl, and I love that she had a tiered tray over here with some sweet treats. And I just absolutely love this, because I guess for me, I envision that she is the one that is making sure that when Santa comes home, that there is just a huge assortment of treats to snack on after his long night. And then I finished it into this pillow, and I had got these wooden spoons from Hobby Lobby in the fall section. And when I saw them, actually Philip found them first. When I saw them, I grabbed a set, and one second here. This is what it looks like right here. Now it comes in, like, I believe a pack of 5. I immediately drove the pack over to my dad, and I'm like, I need you to put a hole in that. Can you? Well, these were bamboo, and he was able to, I think it's a drill press. He was able to put a hole in them for me, a nice size hole, so that I could fit ribbon through it if I wanted to. And so I love the fact that they were versatile and I could paint them if I wanted to, but because I was putting it on red, I didn't need to. And then I just glued a gingerbread man on top. So the fabric is from Hobby Lobby there. I thought it went really good with what was going on. I just wanted a little strip over here. And that is Mrs. Claus Bakery, and she is in the shop, in my Etsy shop right now. She is at Fat Quarter Shop, and she's at all the shops that are carrying my patterns, which we have Annabella's. There is on Etsy as well, the Cottage Needle. So anyways, if you ever, and of course I have the hard copies at Welcome Stitchery, at Brick City Cross Stitch. Annabella's has hard copies. So hopefully I've touched some bases on some shops that are local to you, or a place that you shop. But you can always come shopping at mine. Anyways, so that is Mrs. Claus Bakery. Thanks so much, Mel, for your beautiful stitching. This is just, to me, again, Christmas is my element. So this week's giveaway, I was going to go ahead and do this pattern, and I have a treat that will go with it. and I'll announce that at the end. But this week's winner will get this pattern, and I'll go through that in just a minute because there's some more goodies to go with. So that is that. All right, 1 second here. Okay, moving on, let's go ahead and do the whips I got to work on, because the first thing I felt like doing was not stitching, actually. So I finished that, I believe, Tuesday night. I finished Mrs. Claus and just sat there, and I finished by hand. I think that the best thing I could do, I've had several people ask me about how I stitch in hand without a machine, is I might have to do a tutorial for that, because I kept thinking how I would explain it, and I don't know that it'd be the easiest thing to try and type out, but I could try to video a tutorial. So then by Wednesday night I was ready to pick up something to stitch, and what I did was, hold on 1 second here. I just have to move a couple of things here. The first thing I wanted to do was finish my piece for the JBW ornament sale. Myself, Stitchy Linda, and Annie, the proper stitcher, are doing a JBW ornament sale. So Judy Whitman is the designer behind JBW Designs, and I wanted to do a mitten. So this is the Nordic mitten from her first Christmas ornament book, and I did personalize it. I put my granddaughter's letter Aria, and then sorry, that's Ginger the dog, over one, put the year 22. So then what my idea is I will stitch another mitten, put Matthew's, initial, and then I'd love to see them turned into 2 mittens that are stuffed or finished, that are tied together with like some tie, and be able to either put it on give it to my daughter for them, but either put it on a tree, put it on a peg, something cute like that, where they could hang actually together instead of separate. So it'd be like having a pair of mittens. And I just adore that look. So I use DMC 304, and it's kind of a little bit like a cherry red, but I really enjoyed this. And I've really enjoyed watching so many people join in on this sale. This was just a random piece. These are not big pieces, but I believe it's a 32 count. I stitched 2 over 2. And it's like a Heartland or something like that, or a Heritage. I'm not quite sure. I don't think it's a Heritage because there's not enough green in it, but it could be Heartland. If I picture this, is that picture this plus? I'm trying to think. Either way, I have exactly enough left over from one of my samplers. I have exactly enough to do another one there. So I'll take a break, do something else this week, and then I will go back to do the mitten. But this is the book right there. The lighting is certainly going to be different tonight, but I know Ginger did a mitten, and I love that Ginger Scholl, she used the DMC 115. It is a variegated red, and I love that red, and it was her first time using that. It is beautiful to use. So anyways, but this is my mitten, and I just absolutely loved it. It was the perfect thing to just get my mind off any heavy stitching, and just the only difference I did was I did fill in these hearts instead of, it had a little, the design had some empty spaces, and I just filled it in for the ease of it. So anyways, I'm excited to do something this week, and I'm hoping that it will be a sled. So that was the very first thing I stitched. Then I actually, hold on 1 second here, I made a new start. So I was very behind on the Keepsake Cross Stitch StitchCon sale. This sale is hosted by myself, Stitchy Linda, cross stitch, oh now, see here I go again, Martha Cross Stitch Crazy. I always want to reverse her name, but either way, she will be tagged below, as well as Ice Stitcher, and it really became something really fun that was happening at StitchCon. So the pattern is, if you're not familiar, but it is by Sue Hillis. It was an exclusive design for Keepsakes Cross Stitch, and I absolutely loved it anyways and had picked it up. And then as the few days went on, everybody really became excited, and a sale just naturally evolved. So Linda is already finished. Several people have finished, but I believe that there's a few stragglers out there like me. So let me show you my my progress, which I'm pretty pleased with. So this is my progress, and I'm working over down on this side, and friends is absolutely an appropriate word to have in there, because it's nothing but a bunch of stitchy friends having the time of their life. And it is, I love that while I'm stitching it and actually really reading it, when you're breaking the design down and stitching it, then things just really bring back some really good memories, because yes, they're new and old friends, and you know, I walked away with a lot of new friends, and that was really nice. So this is one second here, got my this is in my tomato bag, this is that, this is my progress, and I'm using it all with the DMC floss. Oops, I guess the other way. But they're really pretty colors, especially the reds in there. You see it come around. So, funny story is, I mentioned last week that, you know, my daughter Olivia was home in between moving into different apartments. And of course, she's watched me stitch, geez, since she was little. I mean, she's turning 20. Her favorite thing is watching the latest bling come home. The cards, the floss drops, the bling. And when StitchCon happened, hold on one second, let me just move this out of the way here. When I came home from StitchCon, and so much of it is these wonderful little gifts that you're given, and a lot of them are bling or floss drops or cards or charms or anything like that. There was so much of it that I could share with, you know, with my family, that she got really inspired by that. And I have always wanted her to stitch, but you know, my oldest daughter stitches, and you have to want to do it. But what she really wanted to do was create the bling. And so she talked about it a lot. As she's been home, she's looked at all my stuff. And one day we got talking, and I said, you know, a lot of people have asked for PDF floss drops that would kind of go along with Witch Beulah, maybe Matilda. I would absolutely allow you to, you know, create something where you could do that, because I have enough on my plate. And then she said, well, I want to do the jewelry, or, you know, she calls it the jewelry. It's our cross-stitch jewelry. So I said, okay. So that evolved into her own little business this week, and that is one of the announcements I made very first thing this morning as I was heading my way. Randy was driving, and I was able to put out a post of her first PDFs in her shop. So my daughter Olivia has opened her own shop on Etsy called the Crafting Bunny Company. So it's the Crafting Bunny CO. And what she's going to carry is PDF tags that you can download, that you can cut out yourself like I do for mine, and you can punch them, and they will match my patterns, or they will be of a photograph I took in the house of antiques. So one of my favorite that she has is the picture I took of, I believe it was a couple of weeks ago, no, not too long ago, because Needlework Press had put out some antique needle books, and I shared, she was asking, you know, did you have any and could you share them? So I did. Well, it looked like it would be the perfect floss drop cards. So she has stuff like that. She has Witch Beulah, and she's started the process of getting her shop up and going. So she has about 6 things in her shop right now that are PDF downloads for tags. She also has created, because she really likes the, I'm a big charm person, just absolutely love grabbing them. When we did StitchCon, of course, we grabbed the year, we grabbed nautical. I have been collecting along the way. I've made my own scissor fobs and I've made jewelry. So some of that isn't anything I do anymore, and I love the fact that they're going to get used. So anyway, she also created, let me grab them here. They are not in her shop yet. We have the 2 she had, well, she has plenty, but she needs to photograph and put them in the shop. But I'll show you a couple of my favorite. This one she did have, but it's already gone. This one got sucked up privately real quick, but this is one of them, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but it is a sheep jumping over a pumpkin, and she had it on a ring with a 3D pumpkin and a leaf, and just super cute. Then we have, see here, I do like, we've got a little frog charm, but this one is we're gonna try and, or she is gonna try and, she wanted them to coordinate as well. So we have a new release coming of Wizard Jeremiah, and he is fully finished, he's ready to go, but I need to get the pattern ready to be, you know, released. But we wanna have some bling to go with him. So there is a floss drop here, which is a little hard to see, and I don't have the right paper, but anyway, so it's a moon, it's got Jeremiah, it has a witch's hat, we have the froggy charm, and there'll probably be more that she adds on, but this one here is, let's see here, I love this one. This one is a blue one with a pumpkin and a black cat, and she's got a scarecrow charm. Let me see if this works better on my hand. Maybe that does. I know the lighting's going to be bad this time. But she's got some really cute stuff. And the 2, I took 2 with me today to the Sunday Stitch-In, and they were both fall. One was a scarecrow, and the other one was that sheep and pumpkin, and it had the charms on it, and they were gone. So look for some really fun floss, well, I'm trying to think of, floss bling is what I still call it, that have charms with them, and they're really adorable, and she's doing a really good job. So I would love it if you would throughout the week pop in and check on her shop. And I'm proud of her that she would, you know, it's not easy deciding that you're going to go ahead and put yourself out there, and I totally get that. So anyways, that was cool, and that has been fun. So we'll add some more PDFs with the patterns. My finishes, some of them that were up at Welcome Stitchery, which includes Witch Beulah and Scarecrow Jack and Jack Mini and things like that, or I should say just Scarecrow Jack the Mini and Beulah Bruise. All of those are on their way back. So we can get some good photography then when they get back for some drops and some other Christmas ones out there. But anyways, congratulations to Olivia for taking the plunge, and I think more than anything, as a mom in today's world, I love the fact that she's being creative, and I love the fact that she will find her way, whether she's stitching or not, in this community of makers that are out there, that it will be a therapy to her, because we all need that. We all need something that just calms our mind, that we love to do, where we are creating something good. And I think that's the biggest thing as a mom, because it's just, life can be stressful, and I want her to find that outlet. And for Carolina, she cooks, she bakes, she's in the kitchen, and that's her therapy. And I'm so happy that Olivia seems to have found something that, and she's attracted to Halloween and loves that because of her birthday, but she's attracted to cute Halloween. And we have that similar interest when we're looking at cute things. And so it's been fun to have something the two of us enjoy together too. So like I said, I'm happy for her. Okay, so let's move on. And so I went ahead and started. I got it started, and I'm so happy to have that for keepsakes. And if you need that pattern, feel free to reach out to Keepsakes. They still have that pattern. They would be happy to help you with that. Barbara has said that before. But this was my next whip that I got that I just was in the mood to pull out, and I couldn't wait because I absolutely loved stitching on this at StitchCon. This was the pattern Ellen Barber that I started at StitchCon with Laura and Brenda and Laura, the serial starter, who, their video went out today. I have so many videos to catch up on, but I saw theirs come out because I ring the bell. I have a little bell set so that it reminds me and lets me know a notification when their videos come out. And I saw that come out today, so I will be excited to see if Laura has any progress. Laura, I do now. But anyways, this is a super sweet pattern. I downloaded it as a PDF and made it super simple. I am stitching this on 32 count grandma's stuffing, and this is my progress. And I also know that Brenda actually stitched this as well, and she's finished. So I love these colors. These are the happiest little colors there ever was. And even though I will say that orange is not my favorite thing except for Halloween time, the actual colors in this and the orange I love. It just is so fun. So I'm using all the DMC. And I love it. And I love this fabric. This fabric is a joy to work on. So, and then these are the bright, happy colors that you got going on. Super fun, super pretty. And that is in my, this is in my Creative Country Girl bag, Tammy Blaylock, for my samplers. And this is what I took today. So what I accomplished was the next row of letters, all of this, and all of that, and all I got to do is put a couple more, all I've got to do is put a couple more numbers there at the end, and then I'll be stitching on the next row. So Laura, I hope you watch this, and I'm going to tag you, and I hope to see just even a few letters done on this so that we both finish by the end of the year. We can do this. This is not big. So that's that one. And again, love these bags. They work when I do just a Sunday stitch in. They're perfect just because the handle is so great. So I'll put that over there. Okay, I got Happy Mail this week, and if you all have been watching, Stitchy Granny of 17 had spotlighted me as like the featured designer of July. She worked really hard on putting out a lot of patterns of mine and sharing them, and I did discounts and all that kind of stuff. So July, Christmas in July was really fun with her, and it is so nice to become friends then throughout that. So she had mailed me a little gift for doing that for her channel, and I had saw it on her FlossTube, and I was in love with it because I love red. That's my favorite color. Look at the little polka dots. This was the first time she made this, and I love that. So I got a beautiful bag in the mail, and it was perfect. When I went up to Brick City Friday, my friend Tammy Egner, I'm talking about Tammy over there, Tina Egner from Team Egner. Her and I, I've mentioned, have been friends for years. We, and I had shared this previously, that we were going to stitch this for our family, but primarily for Philip and Emily. So this is Santa's Night, and I needed to get fabric and my floss for that. So I did that. So that is part of haul this week. And I chose Picture This Plus Shadow, 28 count Lugana. I did not want black, so I'm excited to go ahead and get started on that. And I just picked up the simple DMC. There's not a lot. Let me see if I can get this open for you. 1 second here. I think it'll be okay. There's the color. And that is, it's just so pretty. Look at that. It's like a midnight sky. And I think Tina ended up with kind of like the same thing. And I love this, and I cannot wait to stitch that. So I'm very happy with that, and I'm very grateful to have the new bags. So Deborah, thank you so much. Deborah right now, I believe, is doing a little bit of model stitching, and that's exciting too. She's doing some model stitching for Chantel 141 out of Michigan, and that's going to be exciting to watch some of that unfold. So that was that. Now, talking about Tina, she used to be years ago Emily Ann's Closet, and she has been a quilter and a cross stitcher. She quilted a whole lot, and we kind of got heavily back into cross stitcher, I believe, kind of around the same time. We used to do fun challenges on Friday nights. We really didn't do much on a Friday night, or put our kids to bed, and we would pick out a couple of days before a one-night ornament, and that was always fun, or a very small project and something we could finish in just a couple of days. And we did that for a while, and it was so much fun. But she has started something new that I've mentioned before, and I think others have seen, but she has been creating her own floss bling, and for the project that I have going on, she gifted me this guy here. She puts it on this paper, really nice. And so she started her own, decided, because she was selling some just through an instant message, but she did decide and go ahead and open up a website. So what you want to do is go find her. I will link it below, but go ahead, and if you are on Instagram, you can go to her previous post where she shares her new website, and I've looked at it. It's phenomenal. It's adorable. She's got eye candy for miles and miles. Let me see if I can show him a little more. I'm afraid that it's being dark, but it's really cute. I'm excited to use him. But she sent me some really good fun ones, stitching related. Gotta say, my biggest fan is this pumpkin dude. Absolutely love him. We both love Prims, so it's very easy. And then this was a sewing one as well. And so, of course, when Olivia saw the fun and the bling, that was it. That pretty much sealed the deal for her. And Tina is just, she's always incredibly creative. So I think it gave Olivia and inspired her. And I think that's just something that's important too for us all to know, and Tina. I mean, really, we do inspire the youth. So what we share is important. This is what ended up coming, as far as I love. We had put together Jeremiah's floss drops. I said we need to do a trial run, and you need to make sure everything prints out good. So these are the floss drops, and they're just on cardstock for me. You can do heavy cardstock, but anyways, I got this ready so that I'd have some extras. But yeah, it was nice to see how someone younger can get so easily inspired and motivated by what someone else does. So, okay, moving right along. Let's talk about the giveaway for the 7,000 subscriber. Nobody claimed it, so I have a new winner, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to announce the winner, the new one, because I had to re-choose for the 7,000 subscriber box of goodies. But the new winner is Elizabeth Conley. And she says, I'm so glad you're feeling better and have your strength back. That was the key word. COVID is definitely not fun. Thank you for taking the time showing us what you're passionate about. It's always a joy to watch. So, Elizabeth Conley, please email me at finallyafarmgirl@gmail.com and I will get that box of stitchy goodness in the mail to you. If you're on Instagram, you can reach out to me as well. Just send me a message. So congratulations. I mean, I feel bad, but at the same time, you know what? I've waited plenty long, and sometimes it just happens. So that goes out there. Put that out of the way. Okay. Now, I also had mentioned that the last week when my friend Jennifer came over from Sweet Chaos Stitcher, she and I went down a little bit of rabbit hole, and we bought the pattern Wacky Witches in Stitches. We both fell in love with this. Cute, cute, cute little witches. And then we did buy the fabric to match. And let me tell you what it's called here. It is Mirage by Belfast Linen. Another blue sky, but to a more purpley tone. Oh, I'm so excited for this. So I have my DMC floss. I just need to get the dyed floss. But really excited about that. And Tammy is creating a bag for me. And I'm super excited about this one. Okay. Let me put this down. I think I'm almost getting there. The haul that I got was not too much. I was very busy and I don't need it. I'm so excited to get to the stuff I already have. So I wasn't really even thinking about that. But this caught my eye and I just absolutely fell in love with it on Instagram. Cute, cute, cute. It's called Best Witches by Salt and Pepper. Emily Call is her name, but it's Salt and Pepper Stitching on Etsy. And I mean, seriously, how cute is that? So I think I finally convinced Linda that she's going to want to stitch a witch, which I think would be cute. But we laughed because we both said we probably need to put gray hair or something like that. But either way, this is a really, really cute design that I wanted to share with you. And it's in a beautiful pattern and color. So just adorable. And I can't wait to stitch that. So that was one haul. Okay, so the rest of the giveaway, let me finish that up and then I think we're ready to, I will share with you my finish of Founding of America. Let's see here. This week's giveaway, I want to do a combination of my new release, the new things that my daughter from the Creative Bunny, the Crafting Bunny Company, and a little combination of everything. I also want to include in that some things that have been provided by the Fat Quarter Shop, and I wanted to get these out first, which is it's called Support Group. It's the new one that's out. This is for the supporting the National Breast Cancer Foundation, and this is by Lori Holt. So this is you're gonna get the cross stitch pattern that was put out by It's So Emma, designed by Lori Holt. You're gonna get the needle minder because, like, seriously, how cute is that? I'm gonna include the everything that goes with that is the quilt pattern, and then just another summer cross stitch pattern. This one's called Citrus Summer, and it was featured, this is their Stitch Quarterly. But this one is, these all go together and all coordinate. Let's see if I can get that glare out of there. Sorry about that. So thank you, Fat Quarter Shop. And I'm gonna put it all together with a little bit of mine, a little bit of Olivia's, and a little bit of Fat Quarter Shop, and make another nice giveaway. So your actual word is support, because I appreciate your support I know Fat Quarter Shop has a special meaning for the word support this time. I also know that my daughter appreciates your support today. Sometimes it's just as simple as just a visit to the shop, and it just means the world that people came and stopped by. So I chose the word support. We are a huge community, and it's just such a loving, giving, caring, supportive community. So let's use the word support, and that will be the giveaway for this week. Okay, I am going to go ahead, share my story, and then because this is so big, I'm going to text Randy, and he's going to bring in the founding of America. So let me just kind of start a little bit here. I'm at 40 minutes in, and you'll notice I've revamped my wall behind me. Well, I needed to do that because founding of America needed the proper place and a proper wall because of its size. So I was able to, and it was fun, don't get me wrong, this was not work. I was able to redesign some things. I put Founding of America where Lincoln was in my foyer. So Lincoln now happily resides over my couch, and I need to fill in some. I gave some bigger gaps up here because my goal here has always been to have a Twin Peak Primitives wall, and I am very close to having it. So what you're going to see here, and I will do a video of this to go on my next video in daylight, but this is the Lincoln sampler, this is One Nation Under God, and this is the First Thanksgiving. Then above this one has a saying where it says, I believe it says like, give thanks always. Then this were the pilgrim couple from, I did that a year ago, I believe. And then down here, there was the Mayflower. So all over, I've just got a few fillers that are not, but literally this whole wall is almost all Twin Peak Primitives. So I revamped all of that, and I will take a nice video for you because it's been a long time, but I will admit it is nice having these big ones in here. I get to enjoy them more, and I love that. Okay, Founding of America. Each one of these bigger pieces seems to have a story, and the story is always something that is, to me, one of the most special parts of the piece, because it's a mutual, creative type deal where Twin Peak Primitives, takes an idea, and literally Nerdan, who is the, does some, they both design, but Nerdan does the bigger samplers, and she takes something that speaks so significantly to us as Americans that to me, it's always a little bit breathtaking, the entire journey, watching it come to life, picking out threads, doing things like that. So this was a little bit of a story that each year we start talking about the next one before we're kind of almost finished with the last one. And Washington, George Washington and Betsy Ross and Thomas, these were all players that were huge in carving out America, the history of America. And I absolutely adore the thought of, as a needle worker, thinking of what it would be like if the president approached me and asked me to stitch for him. And that is partly for me what I love about this sampler, and why, yeah, we see Betsy Ross all the time, and we see her, but the picture of the two of them together, to me, mean a little bit more as a needle worker than just the general maybe person who doesn't stitch when they look at it. I was so honored when Twin Peak Primitives asked me to model stitch for them. It has been a almost 5-year journey of doing that, 5-6-year journey of doing that. And every single piece is special. So to stitch this one, and then also know that my dad had done a little drawing, as I always talk to my dad about what I'm working on, and we were talking about the ideas of the sampler. and he had a little drawing that he did, and he just kind of popped something together of a picture of where things could go, and I shared that with Nerdan. And in the most special way, Nerdan, of course, incorporated part of that. The real magic comes from Nerdan's design. The real magic comes straight from her hand, her heart, her designing into this piece. And I say that now as somebody who designs smaller things. I don't feel like I'm actually of that caliber at all, or worthy. I have a hard time saying that. But to aspire to be like her and the details that she can put into a face, it just makes you want to try so hard. So I'm going to go ahead and have him bring it in. And I just wanted to share the little pieces that came into place. Was, you know, my dad has a little piece in it, and I have a little piece, and of course I stitched it. They also have mentioned that along the way, they ended up having it stitched again over by one of their stitchers over there, Scarlett, because a shop, that story's for them to share, wanted to be able to have one there in their shop. So anyways, that story will come out on their Instagram, or it is out on their Instagram. Either way, let me go ahead and text him and have him bring it in. Hey babe.
Hi.
How are ya?
Good. You take my box?
I did take your box. I'm gonna give her box back now to go create for you. There you go.
Did you show me?
I did show them. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, this thing is big. Okay, so I'm gonna scooch out of the way, and he's gonna carry it in here. But anyways, this was just such a sweet thing to do all together. My dad loves history. A lot of times on Wednesday night when I do dinner with my dad, which I did that Wednesday, we had Subway. But literally, we love history, and we love sharing that, and we love watching things. And as I speak, Randy's gonna bring in, let me just slide my chair, and I'll see. I don't think we can work with the glare too much, but you're gonna have to come in. Okay, now can you squeeze in? All right. Maybe go back a little bit. Maybe a little more. Maybe lift it up a little higher. There we go. Okay. So, unfortunately, sorry about the glare. We will try this again in the daylight, and you can actually see, you know, can see this. It was stitched on 28 count Jobelin lamb's wool. I love to stay consistent with the other pieces I did. Wonder if I could shine a light with my phone on it a little bit. Would that work, you think? Probably not. That's really quite pathetic, isn't it? That's just not gonna work. But anyways, okay. So, this is Founding of America, and the one thing I wanted to share is, yes, it is huge. It is stitched on 28 count, and I did that because I like my pieces, these bigger pieces, you know, to match. So I tended to use lamb's wool, whether it was water lily or, you know, other colors. But I love stitching on the Jobelin, and that's just me because of stitching in hand. But the top portion is George approaching Betsy, and like I said, there is something that I love. If you want, you can bounce it on this chair because I know it's heavy. About the fact, as a needle worker, I think that that's just so awesome, that the details up here, that she got the quilt blocks, the Martha Washington sewing cabinet, which I love, absolutely love, that, you know, even though Martha Washington is not in this picture, an element of her is. An element that goes with George and Martha and all that. It's still incorporated. The dress is so beautiful. I hope that you could look at the pictures. Randy will insert them at the end so you can see the beautiful detail in Betsy Ross's dress. The flag is a combination of 2 dyed floss that I use, just the blue and the red. Everything else in this piece is DMC. Then you come through here and we've got your alphabet and 2 of your swags of the flag. And down here is Thomas Jefferson. I almost called him Tomer. Thomas Jefferson doing his part of writing the Constitution, and there's a little back stitching on there that says USA. So even on the pictures that come out, you don't see the little details that are in here. So he's got his feather pen and he's writing, and it's just stunning. Now I'll tell you, one of my favorite parts that I think is spectacular is in the 1776 and the USA. Inside each one of those numbers and letters is a little, it's almost like a little flag of red and white, and I'll have him bring that in closer in just a second. But, and then down here is the Liberty Bell, and these flags, guys, absolutely, the design on these flags is, I just think it's one of a kind. You actually get the movement of these flags and how Nerdan designed these. Even, I want to encourage, I know a lot of these pieces I do are big, but I want you to encourage you to look at the fact that in this piece here, you can break it down. You can buy this pattern and you can decide, I'm only going to stitch up here, and then cut it right underneath or under the letters. You can decide that you want to just stitch Thomas Jefferson as a small for, you know, maybe a patriotic display, as well as the Liberty Bell, or stitch just the bottom half with the 1776. Nerdan has done an amazing job creating something that's really versatile, and it is just absolutely fun to stitch. Okay, so now if you can, I can have you come sit it on my lap. Maybe we can get it closer and maybe the lighting will be better on the flags. All right, I got it this way. Okay. Now you've seen the full thing, but now you can see her dress is in a light purple and a dark purple. I wasn't really sure how I was gonna feel about, but it is gorgeous. So most of your colors are in the gold, the red, and you know, like an old gold, your reds and your navies. But I don't know if we can lift up. So that's the top. And if we go up higher, then you can see the bottom. Sorry for the ring light, but anyways. So this is, in closing, is one of their new for Needlework Expo that will be happening the end of August. And if this is a pattern that you're interested in, you just need to let your LNS know that you would like to have this this pattern, you know, picked up for them. You can put it down on my knee if you want. There you go. You know, so that unless you know, a lot of people don't just use an LNS, they use their certain Etsy shops and things like that. So wherever it is you get your patterns from for Expo, you know, make sure that they know if this is something that you want. This is the time to let them know. And this is so cool up here. Like this one up here. Whoa. But every little detail, and the border, I stitched in several different parts. This part here, the bones of it, goes very quick. It's the coming back in for some of these, but even that were stitched in, you know, in just a nice chunk. So it was actually really quite pleasant to stitch. But that is Founding of America, and you did a great job. You're like the Vanna of that. So go ahead and just back up slowly and let them get a look. I love the frame. There you go. Bye, hon. But we'll put pictures in so you can see it in proper lighting. But it was again, just like all of these pieces, but especially these bigger ones. They're just tremendously special, and this one really so, because my dad had a little role, and what she put together, what Twin Peak Primitives put together on paper for us to put, is just such a huge statement of American history. And I cannot thank her enough for taking, you know, for putting it out there, absolutely designing and putting it out there. So I'm excited for Needlework Expo. I have to say, so far, I think that this is one of the prettiest things I've seen. I mean, there's fun things and lots of cute, and I always am just floored by the creativity in this community. But this one to me, of course, it's just so special. It's just really so special, and I do think about how that must have felt to be approached to stitch something for the world, on a request by the president, and that to see her tools in there. The nice part about this is this patriotic stitch has, like I said, it has her, not only the Martha Washington sewing cabinet, which is this beautiful antique historical piece, but it also has Betsy Ross's little table and her sewing basket and scissors. So there's sewing theme in it. That's a win-win for us stitchers to me. So anyways, I'm very excited. I am very proud of it. And it's just a beautiful thing to look at on my wall, and it was a pleasure to stitch. And the only small, heartfelt, sad part of it is knowing that I'm doing my own designs now. I know it's, my last piece that I have model stitched for them, but that does not mean I will not be stitching Twin Peak primitive patterns, because I have oodles of them. And that is one of the things I'm anxious to do, is to stitch some of these things that I have been gifted, given, bought, purchased, all of those things. I'm excited to stitch those. And I will tell you, several of those are Twin Peak primitive patterns. I have, I believe it was their limited edition that they did. That was another nice size, patriotic. But I will say the founding of America is the biggest piece I've ever stitched. And I love it. I love that I have Lincoln, and I love that I have Washington, and I love that I have Betsy Ross. And I know that Twin Peak Printers has another Betsy Ross pattern that was in the Punch, Needle, and Primitive Stitchers book. I've never stitched that, and I want to. So I'm going to be able to add Betsy Ross up there as well. So I think that's it. I've given you some eye candy, some finished pieces, some starts. Go check out Tina's website. Go check out my daughter's Etsy shop. I will link all of it below. And I will see you next weekend in the morning, and I cannot wait to show you more progress, more whips. Laura, get your Ellen Barber out, and let's get a few more stitches in there. I still need to start Live on Little. And you know what? I wanted to mention too, Cricketwood Crossing has put out, if you're gearing up to possibly stitch Founding of America, Cricketwood Crossing has some amazing bags, vinyl front bags, nice size, like this one. Hold on. It's like this size. She put a Lincoln one out there. It was gone so fast. I wanted it so fast. And so, this would be a good size for Founding of America. And she does these, let me open it for you, where like this one has the embroidered in it, but she had a Lincoln one that I about flipped a gourd over. So I believe she put some new ones out today. But that would be, if you think you're gearing up for it, that would be perfect size. So this week, my plans: release Wizard Jeremiah so that you can start stitching him for your Halloween, and to go ahead and get that one out there. I also want to start my nativity. So that is on my list this weekend, is to start the nativity that I designed. I also want to be able to make sure that my daughter feels comfortable adding in things where she will be mailing them. So the actual ring, bling, all of those kind of deals, make sure that she's ready to get those mailed out. And I think that's, and work on my JBW. And so that's it. I'm gonna let you go here. I feel kind of off because I got home from Brick City. We drove home, put Philip to bed, and I fell asleep, which it happens. But I had a little bit of sugar on the way home because we visited Linda and her husband, Stitchy Linda, and her husband Gerald. We visited their favorite little local ice cream shop, Scoops. and she always sends us this picture of what Gerald gets. And so since we were in the area, and since my husband and Philip are so patient with dropping me off and all of that, and going and doing their own chores and their own things, I said, okay, I'll treat to ice cream when we're done. That's a win-win. But we went there, and if I can, I will share a picture of that as well. And Dad, I would have brought it for you, but it would have melted the whole way home. So anyways, it was really fun, but that was a sugar rush, and then I crashed. So anyways, but I will see you next Sunday. And again, thank you, Twin Peak Primitives, for this wonderful stitching journey. It has been an honor. And yeah, I look forward to stitching many, many more of your patterns. But I will say that these big whoppers have my heart so much. I don't know how she looks inside there and just puts it to paper. Right in my heart, puts it right to paper. I love them to death. And I wish that the miles between us was not so far, because it would be such a joy to be near them and help watch these pieces evolve to, together and not so far apart. But either way, make sure your LNS knows that you want it for Expo, and I hope you love my Mrs. Claus Bakery the way I do, because I just think that Christmas is on my mind a lot lately. So anyways, all right guys, happy stitching. Have a great week. Sending you lots of blessings, and don't forget the keyword is support. That'll be for the giveaway. Do not mention giveaway, do not mention freebie, and you have to be 18 years or older to be able to be eligible for the giveaway. And we'll put lots of goodies in there. All right guys, love you. Don't forget to floss. Bye guys.